everybody, to Too Legit to Crit, a tabletop role-playing podcast made for people who can resist the urge to remind the GM they have dark vision every time they enter a darkened room.
Okay.
Made for people who think immaturity should be a stat.
It's made for people who respect the sanctity of the GM bribe.
It's hosted by two people who thought it would be a great idea to switch accents for an episode. So yeah.
Made for people who make sure to know their character sheets properly and update them accordingly in between games.
Made for people who smile in the face of critical failures.
Yeah.
Also, Abomination Vaults, that has carried on. Nearly another character death.
Oh, jeez.
It's a grinder. What can I say? It is a grinder of an AP.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm forgiving. I'm as benevolent as a GM as can be, but at the same time, the dice are against you. It's a you problem.
It's a you problem. I'll remember that. I'll remember that. I feel like, okay, so do you change like your difficulty setting according to your players in your table? I mean, that sounds like a dumb question, but like,
no. My difficulty, I'm taking Pathfinder as the example.
Okay, yeah.
I will give my players every chance there is to survive.
Okay.
You know, they'll get to a point, and I will give them every chance they can to survive. However, it comes a point where I cannot give them any more chances. What I'm not going to do is give them a free pass.
That's fair.
You know, I'll tilt the table in their favor, but if the odds are against them, they're against them, and the game moves on.
I had wondered if Stefan was pulling punches slightly. Our first game of Covenant Crucible, I'm playing a character named Cersei, and she's very... I don't want to say friendly because people associate that with flirty, because that is the furthest thing from her. She's very big-hearted. We'll say that.
Okay, yeah.
So she'll say stuff without thinking about it, and not in a suggestive way. We're not talking sexual at all, okay? But like she's talking to an FBI agent, and he's like, that guy looks like he knows what's up. To like one of her teammates is what we'll call them. And she's like, I mean, yeah, probably, but not even thinking, right? Because she's just so overly friendly. We were so close to like, let me phrase that. I was so close to fucking my own group over that I wonder if Steph was like, what the fuck is she doing? Oh no, he didn't notice that. He didn't notice that. But yes, Couch, she's very trusting. Like everybody is her friend unless proven otherwise. But she's also like this 6'1", like absolutely strong woman, muscle mommy. Like, yeah. So like, she's not worried about someone taking advantage of her. So, but I don't think I've ever fudged rolls for my character. I did once, but I feel like fudging rolls are different from like scaling the entire game back. You know what I mean? There's only one roll where it would have been an instant death for like half the party, and it wasn't their fault. It was like a me miscalculating like the monster versus them thing, and I'm like, whoops, okay, that didn't happen.
I mean, the perfect example is the finale to my homebrew campaign.
Oh yeah.
In terms of numbers, in terms of like the maths of it, it was an extreme encounter, a severe encounter in Pathfinder parlance for the party. So that means it is an encounter that they will struggle with, but will theoretically overcome.
Okay.
However, it was a prime example of the creature level not matching the ability, because the abilities that the creature had could have very easily TPK'd.
Yeah.
That entire party. Just the fact that it had 100 attacks of opportunity around.
Yeah.
And an insane reach, and it could do all these things which would compromise the party and just negate their tactics. So while that's going on, I can see that I'm spanking them essentially. In the background, I start getting a character that like a previous party member that left, I start getting him ready to come in as backup, because it's like, if this goes south, they're going to need this. But that, fortunately enough, they never did. But holy fuck, it was close.
Oh. Well, I want to say you feel bad for my players because they're good. They're really good. Level up makes it very easy to be very good. So I feel like I need to throw harder challenges at them. But here's the thing. My table loves combat. Like, they're combat giddy. Okay. But combat's almost too easy that I have to either make it harder, which then they're going to lose interest. Or what I've started doing is throwing more like, it is combat. Like, okay, my last session, they ended up I gotta be careful because I think some of my players are watching. They ended up in what we will call a sub-ocean level. So like it's lower than ocean level, right? Dry cave. So like they just crawled down basically this giant hole, found out it's like super wet. Yeah. There could have been an opportunity for a gnarly combat, but they actually managed to avoid combat and actually get kind of more out of the situation. And I was so proud of them because I was like, oh, look at you guys go figuring shit out. I thought we were going to have this like gnarly, like all the way out, knock them dead fight. And no, they were like, we're going to talk this out and we're going to figure the fuck out what's on the walls. Cause I had like hieroglyphics and stuff on the wall. And it was pretty cool. I was proud of them. But now I'm like, well, fuck. They can't talk their way out of everything.
sounds to kind of lean on this. One of the things I've seen on threads quite often are GMs that are vehemently against character death.
Yeah.
Like, no, character death does not happen at my table.
Yeah. I've seen it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If that works for your table, great. I could not do that on my table.
Oh, no, me neither. I understand tables that do that. I understand if you're going for a completely different vibe, a completely different game, a different run, totally fine. If my players are stupid and fall off a cliff because they avoid all the warnings the NPCs have given them, that's on them. I'm sorry. Okay.
For me,
and that's not as a consequence either. It's not like, oh, you were stupid. It's consequence of your actions. It was like, what did you think was going to happen?
No, but I mean, for me, it's all about the story.
Yeah,
we're trying to tell a story together, and sometimes those stories don't end well.
No,
sometimes you need struggles, you need risk, you need stakes. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are systems which character death is not possible.
Sure.
Tales from the Loop is a prime example.
Yep.
I'm all for that. Yeah, great. That's the system. But if you were to get a system like D&D or Level Up or Pathfinder or whatever, and just kind of go, no, this whole subset of the mechanics we're just going to do away with.
Well, and it's weird. I'm going to use D&D because it's the most commonly known one, because I don't even know the names of the gods. Okay, I was making a Baldur's Gate 3 character. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know there was this many deities. But like, if you just negate death, period, end of story, you kind of negate an entire storyline built into this system, which is fine. Again, like if you are saying, hey, our table doesn't do this, totally cool. My issue with it though is that like, so all of that backlore just doesn't exist suddenly. Again, you can do that, but for me, it's so hard to grasp it's so great.
Come on. It's only been a week.
We're hard to grasp my brain around it.
About a week off. Come on.
I have to English now. God damn it. But
let's get those cobwebs away. Come on. You got this, Atlas.
But yes, it helps tell story. But on top of it, I have a bigger issue with it cheapening things. Like, for example, we had a Mutants and Masterminds game where my character died horribly, and it profoundly affected all the characters and players, right? Through the GM and their decisions, like I was bummed. I was like, oh, well, shit, like she's gone. Like, you don't come back from that. And my teammates were like, no, she's not. And they like, I kid you not, there was like traveling to the underworld. There were deals made with gods. There was high tech stuff going on, portals with kaiju. It was really fucking cool. Super bizarre, but cool. But they brought her back, and that actually became part of her superpower. She was a super genius. And when she came back, she kind of became this like, I see people situation where she used high technology to use like ectoplasm and stuff like Ghostbusters. Think Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But then, like, a player right after that, like, he wanted to change an aspect of his character instead of just changing the aspect. He's like, oh, it's okay. I'll just kill him and bring him back. And we're like, so when the theme of, oh, well, she died and it didn't matter. He died, it didn't matter. Then it was kind of like, well, it doesn't really matter when people are in danger. Like, it takes away the stake of the situation you're facing, where it's like, oh, this horribly big thing we're facing. That's fine. We won't die. Sip it. I'm like, it's a big bottle. I have to hold it with 2 hands, right? I sip it. I'm like, oh my God, this is good. And so he's talking to someone across the room, and I'm just like, just keep going. And he's like, Noah, come try it. No, it's his son. He goes, Noah, come try this chocolate milk. And I pass Noah the chocolate milk. Noah gives it to Connell. Connell tries it. Noah tries it. Me and Noah start passing it back and forth behind Connell's back. And we're just swigging away at the chocolate milk. We finally give it back to him to put it away. It's like maybe halfway gone. So I would drink that chocolate milk for the rest of my life at games. It was good.
Fair enough.
It was good. It was so good. But yeah.
So, other than chocolate milk,
I was just reading Coach Couch's comment. Do a podcast with Stefan, diets and food. Stefan can use his tagline. I'm assuming I got the glow. Let's go.
I got the glow. Let's go.
Yeah, just hopefully it's not the glow like something's on fire.
Yeah, that'd be weird. There's a glow. Let's go.
Oil fire. Got the glow. No.
Yeah, but that's definitely a t-shirt that needs to happen.
Yeah, with a unicorn horn.
You got to give me ideas for your design. You got to give me ideas for halos.
Okay.
I've got ideas for liberators.
Are we doing catchphrases or just like Team Halo, Team Liberator? I mean, granted, Stefan has to have like, you know.
Yeah, Stefan's got his catchphrase. I don't have one yet.
Me neither.
I don't have one. I don't think you've got one.
Not really.
No, and I don't believe Cypher hasn't got one either. So
Cypher does. His is It's just like, I was like, what the, like, you know, what the hell is your problem? I got bored, or however. I can't.
Ooh, that was sorry. Atlas disappeared for us. Atlas disappeared for a second, and it was Mary Poppins in her place.
I'm so bad at accents, but the only time that I can actually even get them out is when I'm not like.
It's like, is that Helen Mirren?
Oh my God, she's like, I want to be her. When I grow up, I want to look like her.
Fair, yeah, no,
amazing.
No, yeah. To be honest, yeah. I mean, Couch is I'm a true hero, liberator, but that's you know, he's not wrong. To be fair.
Oh my God. You know what? Yeah, you know what Halos is like. I'm not supposed to be here, or let me out. Let me out. There we go. Let me out. Couch, sorry, I'm too English for you. You're not too English for me, Couch. Cypher is just like, I don't know if it's across the world. Where I'm from, the super, super smart evil guys are always British. Like, always. So when he comes in, he's like, I didn't get caught. I got bored. And like heavy English accent. I'm going, yep, there he is.
That, to be fair, that was a funny moment though.
That was so good.
That was a moment shared between Liberator and Halo.
Yeah. The moment like, where Cypher might have brought them together.
I don't get caught. It's like, well, you kind of do.
I've never failed. Really?
Really? Never.
You're here.
Isn't that a strong word?
For Liberator, you should have a good hero pose. Then in like Joker, like scratch writing, help me. Yeah. Let's talk about someone asking for help from Liberator, not being what it seems.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about. Look, if you're hearing things, that's on you.
Connell, when do we get to level up and get more powers? I'll wait for him to type up. But sorry, I was thinking that last night because I wanted to do something. I'm like, oh, I don't have that yet. I'm like, wait, when?
That's a fair point. You know, I'm interested in seeing what I can
becoming more evil than you actually are.
No, I'm becoming more powerful and more righteous.
Okay, Homelander. Like that was straight up Homelander vibes.
Definitely not Homelander. Definitely not Homelander.
I need a new chair.
Yeah, it's just.
It's super comfy. It's the best chair ever for comfort. I don't know why it's a squeak. I've never had a chair that's squeaky. I don't understand.
I mean, I'm like seeing Justin like vibes where his chair breaks in the middle of a
I
recording.
know. When that happened, I was like, oh, that can't be my fate.
And to be honest, his chair squeaked like yours before it happened.
Don't tell me that. Shut up.
And just watch the episodes.
I'm going to position myself perfectly straight on the chair. I can't do that though, because I can't touch the ground. Like, so.
Are you on a fucking bar stool or something?
No. Okay. Anatomically speaking, I am average height for an American woman. I am 5'4". Okay.
Right.
But my torso is freakishly long compared to most people's. My mom, who is 5 foot flat. Okay. She's like here on me. Okay.
Yeah.
We can lay down on the ground, put our hips at exactly the same spot, make sure our butts aren't like further than the other person, stick our legs straight up in the air, and she can reach far higher than me. I have short legs. I have long torso, short legs. So even though I'm average height, proportionate wise, I can never touch the floor in chairs. Like, it's just a problem. I have to get step stools to like go pee. I don't know if this is allowed to be talked on here, but like it's
crack on.
It's like a little kid. Like I gotta be like, it's awful. Dining chairs when I go out to eat at like booths, I have to like pick up my legs, and that's why I have this chair. It's a crisscross leg chair, so I can just sit Indian style and be fine.
God.
Life is what it is. Like tight legs, big body. Yeah, Couch knows what we're up with. He gets it. He gets the struggle. Speaking of struggles, tadpoles on the ship. I forgot to tell you about this. The Void Runner game. Very, very long story short. We end up in we like crash land in a jungle that they're like, oh, here's our public documents, by the way, which to me is shady. And they like give us all their information, and there's predators at night, but they'll be fine. We go back to our ship to sleep. Remember, I'm a robot. I don't sleep. I'm even when I'm recharging, I'm constantly like, I'm aware. I don't ever shut down. And because I'm a guardian. Carl's such an asshole. Like, he knows what creeps me out without us ever having talked about it. Because like we're talking and he's like, okay, it's powered down, it's nighttime, and you hear this like thump, and I can't mimic it. I'm bad at sound effects, but it, like slithering away. Like thump, thump, and then slither. And I'm going, okay. Very, very long story short, we ended the game with my character having like kind of like, she's got her saber sword. Lightsaber, not it's a plasma. So, anyways, she's kind of like sticking her
a legally distinct sword made of light.
Yes, and she's like looking around, and there's like a swarm of black tadpole leeches, think Langoliers with a mouth, coming at her, and then he ended game, and I'm like, who ends game like that? Like
all people should end it. It's a cliffhanger.
Starglaive, that's the name of the sword.
Starglaive, nice name. But yeah, cliffhanger. You got to end on a cliffhanger.
I get cliffhangers, but like, come on, man. I'm gonna have maybe that's why I'm having weird dreams.
Hey, maybe. You know, have you been dreaming about tadpoles?
No, just gas explosions.
That's one way of dealing with tadpoles.
It is. It really, really is. It is. Yeah. Gaming's been good. It's been
good. Good. I'm really glad. I'm getting back to Delta Green this week.
Yeah, so you've had a lot going on. You've got I remember you were looking at the One Ring. Did anything come out from that?
I haven't really. I had to kind of park it, but you know, I do want to like set something up where I can actually try the system. I think it looks quite interesting.
I've watched Don Marshall. I've been a follower of his for years. I absolutely adore him. I actually used to listen to him read, like he would read the Silmarillion and then explain what he just read and then read some more of it and then explain. Yeah. Like heavy nerd stuff. So seeing him kind of become this like big content creator of, you know, Lord of the Rings has made me happy, like my heart happy. But watching him play One Ring makes me want to play it. I'm like, I want to play this. Like, I want to play this game. So I got to get a whole bunch of Lord of the Rings nerds together and try it.
Yeah, I mean, I if I could find someone who can GM it properly, I would definitely do a crit list on it. Because I mean, to be honest, that's how I'm currently experiencing the games I'm experiencing. It's through a crit list.
Yeah,
that's why the show exists.
Exactly. So if you're watching this and you have a system, you're like, this is my system, not necessarily you created, but like something you are a diehard fan, you love jamming it, please come run it for us.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
know,
simple as it is. Please come run it for us.
We've done so many systems now, and some of that we haven't been able to air because of technical reasons, but still had a load of fucking fun playing them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So check out the crit list. Currently, we've just done 3 episodes of Call of Cthulhu, which was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Some great fucking RP moments in there
and if you want
from people, better than me.
Oh, I mean, ooh, that was one of those shoulders moments. I was like, there are 2 jokes I could make. I was like, no, make everyone's better than you, and like, I know what to do. Like,
see, that's the easy one.
That's what happened. For commenting, for following, it's gonna be good. It's gonna.
I have no idea about any of this.
He has no idea about any of it. You do know about the? No, you don't know about that either. Never mind.
No. I've given Atlas carte blanche. Mm-hmm. She can crack on. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to do something I don't want to do anyway. So
that's true.
I will do the accent switching though.
You have to. And you've already agreed.
I've agreed to the accent switching. Yeah. But that's just going to make everybody uncomfortable.
And my British will make everybody's going to, my British.
Yeah, but we already established you've got like the Helen Mirren, Olivia Colman sort of quality.
I really don't. You're full of shit.
Please, sir, may I have some more?
I have another.
Yeah, but when I do an American accent, I never settle on a location. I'll start in one place and I'll do like an American tour.
That's how I am with my British accents, because I don't even know, like, if someone's like, oh, do an Essex accent, I don't know. Do like someone from Kent, I don't know. Like, I don't know the differences. I don't even like.
Okay, so for an Essex accent, all you have to do is lean on the words that end in ly. So literally, basically, literally. So yeah, that's Essex for you.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna have to tell me I'm wrong.
I'm gonna have to do that for a character in game.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah. So yeah, just and you kind of move your mouth without moving your mouth, like literally.
Curly had to do an Irish for a play once. It was not regionally specific at all. Connell and I try. Connell does it. Connell does Irish well. I'm not Irish, so I can't say whether it's well or not. Let me put it this way: Connell does Irish better than me.
Couch is adding some Essex into the chat. South End babes.
South End
babes.
Why did I immediately feel like I sounded like a creeper saying that?
Is it? Oh yeah, don't worry. I will teach you.
You have to teach me.
Yeah. I do not have an Essex accent, just in case anybody was wondering.
Spaniard.
And my accent is from the north of England.
That's okay. Mine's fucked up too, because I grew up in the South, right? I have the dialect of West Coast, because that's when I started learning like language. I have the original accent,
and you learned it really well, may I say?
Oh yeah, so well. I'm so good at English, guys. Yeah, and it's bad because it'll come out in game too. Well, hell, it comes out here, but yeah, English is hard. English is hard, but that's okay. We play tabletop role playing games anyways. So, but what is like your best accent you do for games? Do you do accents for games?
I don't really. Every now and again, I'll try, and I can't. The problem is I can't keep them up.
I'll start for that.
Not for accents, oddly enough.
Oh, okay.
I'll start, and then about an hour into the game, it's like I cannot be fucked. I can't be fucked doing this.
Do you change dialect at any times? Like when you're playing a character, do you change? Because, for example, my alien Serenity, whom I love so much, and Connell can't touch her, doesn't use what are they called? Fuck. See, I shouldn't be talking about English. She never says I don't. I do not. I can't. I cannot. She right, I purposely. Thank you. That word. She doesn't ever speak with contractions, and in Mutants and Masterminds, that's what I focused on, because I didn't want to really do an accent for the same reason. Like, I'll fuck it up, I'll forget it, it's whatever. I changed the way I spoke. Everything was smoother and lighter, and no contractions. And then other characters, I've changed like my pitch. So that's what I've kind of leaned into instead of accents.
I mean, I don't really. I mean, I may make slight differences, which are based around my character's personality. As opposed to trying out accents. In Call of Cthulhu, all I had to do was dial up the Yorkshire. So I was talking a bit more like this, and I just spent the entire game like that. But I found that really easy because that is, where I learned English. That is where that's what they speak.
Yeah. Yep.
So Connell is wanting me to speak Spanish, but
I was actually about to say, because here's the thing. I'll make a deal with you, John. I will make a deal with you. Curly made a point. I grew up in the South, purposely made sure I didn't sound like people around me. Curly, I learned a Northern accent when I moved to Indiana because kids made fun of me so bad. So here's my deal. And no, I'm not good at English, Curly. That's why I need you people to help me figure out what I'm saying. If you speak Spanish, I'll use my original Southern accent.
I'm not doing it tonight.
All right.
It's one of those things that anybody who's bilingual will tell you the same thing. It's a pet peeve. When somebody goes, "Oh, speak Spanish," it's like, "Oh, fuck off."
See, I don't mind. Desi, who's in the chat, it's so funny because we'll be at her house or something, and Spanish will come up, and me and Coco, it's me, Coco, and Desi all recognize Spanish. I'm not super fluent in it, but it'll be great because we're hanging out, and suddenly we'll hear it, and our brains do that switch, and you can see all of us just stop for a second. It's like. It's like a brain reset.
It's the whole you get put on the spot, and it's what do I say?
D&D Pathfinder better with pre-gens when optimization is at least initially taken out of the player's hands. That's heavily dependent on the table. If you are playing with a table who like to optimize and like to I don't like using the term min-maxing, but essentially that's kind of what it is. Then a pre-gen will always fall flat. I do like the idea of pre-gens because they're normally built on a level, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was better. I would say that it has its benefit, but most of all, these systems are designed to be the ivory tower system mastery kind of games. The more you master the system, the more you're going to have fun with it. And when you sign up to GM, that's what you sign up to deal with. So I think, taking away that option from players without them being beginners, I think is doing a bit of a disservice.
I think you said it very well in the beginning. I think it depends on the table. I think it depends on the game. But it's so flippant on whether it's good or bad for a situation. It's so situational.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that. I mean, again, if I'm GMing Pathfinder, I expect people to try and manipulate the system as much as they can, because that's what the system kind of encourages. If you're playing something like PBTA or Blades in the Dark, then it's a different matter entirely, which I enjoy more. I will say that. I will say I enjoy playing the more narrative and flawed characters and without having to kind of learn every aspect of a system.
I think that's why we're so horny in that one game, is because everyone's so flawed. To be honest, everyone's so flawed.
How do you connect one thing to the other? So what we do, we every character has a flaw. We just we like it to be narrative and flaw, and let's fuck each other.
Well, no, I mean, yes. To be completely fair, the entire story is built off of childhood trauma, because all of these our characters had a childhood together where they were possessed by demons and let loose on a town. So there's a connection between that, but that's beside the point. But it's a very cool trauma bond, but it does create some interesting tension when all of a sudden everyone's grown up and oh, hello.
Let's just fuck each other. You know what? Who needs to save this town? Who needs to save this town from this dragon? The dragon's fine.
The dragon's just demons.
Let's go be inside each other.
Please, sir, can you keep me warm?
Please, sir, may I have some more?
We need to put a warning label across this entire episode. Don't watch it!
I've already decided that's going to be the title. Do not watch this episode.
Please do not watch this episode.
Just don't do it. Just
skip it.
Skip this episode.
This is the one that people should skip. Because I think we're going to end up offending like 90% of the people that listen to us.
Probably.
Except for the 90-something listens from Singapore we had last week.
What?
Yeah, we had a spike. We had a spike. It's not
Singapore.
a real... It's not real data. There's been a spike somewhere. But yeah, I was having a look, and it was, what was it, 2 days ago? Just having a casual look on Acast, and there's 93 views.
I was about to be like, yeah, go Singapore. Take Singapore.
Sorry, not views. Listen, this was on.
Maybe they were trying to learn your accent.
I don't know, because I had to look at the location. It was like, yeah, there's so many in the States, and so Singapore, 93. It was
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's listening from over in Singapore, hey guys, thank you, we love you.
How does one say hello in Singaporean?
My worry is that someone in Singapore is listening to this for the first time and just kind of go, that American guy sounds cool.
That's because the American guy does sound very cool.
They're going to be so fucking disappointed next episode.
Cool.
Next episode, they're going to go, what the fuck happened to this guy?
He was cool. He
had, like, severe head... Is that why he wears the hat? Severe head trauma?
I was about to try and figure out how Singaporeans, how do you say hello in Singapore? I can't. I Googled it, and I'm like, I'm struggling with this. I'm not going to go and try that.
Connor wants me to try Liberator with an American accent.
I will hate him.
Will you trust me even more? Would you just kind of go, you know what? He's a good guy.
No, because Is it the English? Here's your only thing. The English accent is the only thing that keeps me from not completely wanting to murder you, because, like, there's something about British accents that us Americans go like, oh, all right.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, because you do hear a lot of times that people kind of go, oh yeah, the English accent, we like the English accent. But then we play the villains in most of your movies. It's either us or the Germans.
Exactly my point. Actually, I grew up with a bunch of... You would think I'd be better at English accents, because I grew up with a lot of Englishmen in my house, because my father would go... No, not like that. My father would work in England all the time, and they would actually have those members from the board and everything come over, blah, blah, blah. He was VP, whatever, corporate America. They'd stay in our house. I grew up with English people all the time. You'd think I'd be better at this. I'm not. That being said... Fuck. Where was I going with this? What were we just talking about?
I have no idea. About you
Liberator.
doing in English.
People
Liberator,
trusting, yeah, and villain, yeah. So I had a friend from England come over to visit in high school, and all of my friends were like, he's so hot. Oh my God. I'm going, he's really not. He's really not. Like, but his accent, I'm going, no.
I mean, I do think that I've got a bit of an advantage doing this, because we grow up on watching American TV, so we're a lot more exposed to it. Now, in your case, it's a lot more recent that you watch the Bridgerton and
the Bridgerton.
The whatever the fuck it is.
Listen, you win.
Downtown Abbey.
I told you you'd do a better job than me at this. I actually don't watch Downton Abbey. I want to, because I love...
Are you actually saying it properly now, though?
Downton?
There we go.
I paid attention. Yeah. Downton and Worcester. Y'all just stop pronouncing the rest of the words.
Downton. Oh, don't get me started on that. I'm a northerner. We don't pronounce half the words that we say.
Okay, well...
But yeah, the last week of this.
All right.
If we don't get another subscriber by this time last week,
I'm gonna make an addendum. Okay. Shut your face. Shut your face and listen.
All right.
This doesn't actually air till Thursday morning, correct? A week from Thursday morning, because you got to give our viewers a chance to see this.
I don't know. I think, yeah, go on then. I'll give you that. I'll give you a technicality, because I'm fucking generous.
Is that why? Not because I'm right and you don't want to admit you're wrong.
No, I'm generous. I'm a generous person.
Oh, okay.
Victory sip.
I think I'm out of victory juice. Like, I don't even think.
Oh, I've got victory juice in space. Don't get me started on my victory juice.
Okay, anyways.
So Victory Juice is going to be a clip.
Yep.
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 All right. So what else did we talk to our friends on social media about?
I asked another one. You got like a whole bunch. Like I didn't take all my responses because I feel like all my responses were lengthy paragraphs, right? Because I asked lengthy questions, I guess. Okay, we talk all the time about how we put ourselves in our NPCs. We put ourselves in our characters.
Yeah.
I wanted to know how many people try and personify aspects of their characters. Other way around. There goes the fire truck. Other way around.
So basically, how many people create aspects of themselves within their characters, do you mean?
No, like how many people in regular day life try to personify something from their characters?
Oh,
like,
interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Hang on, Rachel just noticed the victory juice. So I have to welcome her back on that one. No, so I asked personifying characters from our games, right? And actually, Hima's response in yours, Chainsaw Flower Child, which, by the way, best username ever. Like,
yeah, I
love that username.
Love the name.
I normally play characters that are broken and trying to get better. I don't want to be that broken again in real life. So of my 4 characters, I'm currently playing 3 are working through trauma. So that just leaves one to pick from, which I totally resonate with that. All of my characters, I have happy backgrounds, and then somehow their backgrounds get destroyed and end up traumatized. And I'll get to that in a second. But Ripley's a Kender, and I would love to have the fearless, inquisitive, and positive attitude that he has. Kender don't understand fear, so it never factors into their decision process. Without fear, there would be a lot less stress and virtually no anxiety. I feel you on that. Like, some of my favorite characters are the ones that don't think. They have the fearless attribute, so they just, they do it. They do it. It's like what we talked about before. You know, people will be talking around a table. Should we do this? Should we do this? Well, I don't know. What if we do this? And my character has literally in the past month just stood up and went over and did the thing. And people are going, oh, I'm fearless. Like there's, it's such a good feel. It's such a good feeling. So I get that. Because in my superheroes, there are superheroes I would love to be like my characters. And I'm like, I want to be like that character. But at the same time, I'm like, you got trauma.
I do agree, because I very much want to be a liberator. So.
John, no. No. There's something fundamentally wrong with you that you want to be liberator.
There's nothing wrong with Liberator. He's a true hero, so... Just because Halo doesn't understand him, that's Halo's problem.
Stop it. I think we just got our 3rd prescription.
Ah, fuck.
I'm going to have to check that. I'm going to have to check that later. Sorry. I got a little ding. I'm like, oh my God. Anyways, could be wrong. Could be very wrong. I may have seen the wrong thing. But no, I have done that. People are like, oh, I work out so I can do things my characters do. And I've actually flipped that around. Sometimes I'll be in a really stressful situation.
Fuck you, Couch.
Woo! Thank you, Couch.
Yeah, thank you, but fuck you.
We love a good couch.
So is it a subscription or a one time? I think he's gone and fucking done it.
Yeah, I think he's done it. I think he's gone and done it. Is this an appropriate time to like blast letters across the screen and go, "You've been couched"? Was that like a thing?
If I had that set up, I would. But by the time I've got it set up, the joke will be fucking over.
That's true.
Let me double check. So, while we're on the topic of our like coffee and our subscription, I have decided we're gonna kind of sweeten the deal a tiny bit.
Oh, yeah! Tell them what we got.
So, what I'm gonna do. One of the things I'm wanting to do is everybody who is subscribing that are $3 and up tier. All these maps that I've been creating, that I've been designing for my previous games, and all the maps that I'm going to design, because even though I'm not necessarily going to use them, I still want to practice and I still want to create.
Yes.
I'm going to start giving them to our subscribers.
Love it. Okay.
Free of charge.
Our coffee subscribers, not our YouTube subscribers, right?
Yeah, our coffee subscribers.
Making sure that difference was made.
Our $3 and up subscribers, you guys are gonna get them for free. They're not great, they're not fantastic, but they're serviceable. You'll be able to use them. I've used them, and I used them in a game. You'll be able to use them in a game.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy to kind of donate them to the cause. And the other thing that we talked about is in the Traveler's Chalice, from time to time, when there's a few of us on, I've got 500 plus fucking games.
Yes, you do. You have a PDF problem.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of them are like these one-page RPGs that I want to start playing. So that we're going to start doing that in the Traveler's Chalice as well. We're going to start breaking out these one-page RPGs.
Yep.
You know, I already know which one we're going to start with, and it's a big shout out to our friend Andrea, because I've wanted to play this for ages. It's a quick game, and it's going to be Dumb Squad.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that we're going to start playing that. Again, we've got no actual time frame, but it'll be a case of, right, there's 5 of us on. Fuck it. Let's break out Dumb Squad.
Absolutely.
Let's play it. Let's try it. Let's see what we think.
Yep.
You know,
and honestly,
so
surprise games are the kind of the best, I've come to find out. Like,
no, I do enjoy a good surprise game.
I can't get over how great Saturday was. I love that. So that's a good thing to add to our subscribers, our Ko-Fi supporters. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
So yeah, those are things with, you know, those are going to be available at the current subscription. Yep. I just want to, you know, it's kind of my way of saying thank you.
Love that. Love that. So, I'm not that cool. I have nothing to donate, but I donate my awesome personality to the Traveler's Chalice.
You donate.
Absolutely inappropriately timed jokes. The Traveler's Chalice is completely unfiltered. So
yeah, my jokes are appropriately timed. They're just in very poor fucking taste.
I mean, I think again that's just an age thing. It's okay.
I mean, my timing is spot on. It's just that timing maybe. We may be talking about certain things, and yeah. But yeah, if you ever want to experience what I'm like without a filter, the Traveler's Chalice is the place to be.
Yeah, it's entertaining to say the least. We need more girls in there.
So now I'm going to work on a fucking American accent.
Yeah, you do, because next episode.
Is it next episode? We don't know.
Unless you want more time to prep. Do you need more time to prep?
I don't know. I'm going to let you know when we get closer to next episode.
Oh, okay.
Bear in mind, I am doing like 27 hours overtime this week.
That's true. Maybe we should give a little bit of a buffer time. We'll pick a date. We'll make a big announcement. I'll make graphics for it. It'll be great. And I should actually have the graphics for our pledge awards and potentially our giveaways by then too. So maybe it'll be a big thing.
So yeah, I need to. The thing is, it's not about doing the American accent. It's about doing the American accent and sticking to it. That's where I'm going to struggle, because I will be able to start, and then I'm going to go on a journey across the US.
Sam actually has a really good point. Do a Southern one first. It's actually just a slowed down British accent.
I'm gonna have to kind of off air try that out and just see if that theory holds up.
What's gonna happen is
I'm not gonna do it on air. No.
Oh no. I'm just saying, like, you're gonna do what me and Connell do is we talk around the house in accents trying to nail something. Like, that sounded horrible.
You talk around the house.
Yeah, we talk at the house. Hi, door. No. Ho, door.
One person on one side of the house, the other person on the other, and you just hello. We're talking around the house because
that's okay.
That's something people say now.
Yeah, sure. But I'll be with you. I'll be talking like you guys are gonna be like, that's this side of England and that's that side of England. I'm gonna be like, it's British. That's the best I can do, guys.
All right. Yeah, luckily, we're fucking doing this when we've got a limited amount of viewership. If we did it about so now it's harder to cancel us. Also, just like another little bit of a check-in with some of our friends and people we care about. Couch, you know, we have mentioned it. Couch has got his baby now. He's got his show.
Yeah.
Where, you know, it's all Couch. Again, I'm playing in it. I'll push the button to record and I'll do the editing, but it is Couch's story and we are so fucking here for it.
Mm-hmm.
And also another bit of news.
Also, hang on, time out, because
show.
Couch is also doing the artwork
They are going to be. The artwork
for Fabula. He did the character art for it and it's amazing. Yeah, so Couch, do more art.
He has done it. Yeah, he has done. He did the character art himself, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
Really evocative of the setting, and really evocative of what we wanted as characters.
So good.
So it is phenomenal. So check that out when we start releasing it. I haven't got a date yet, but
yeah,
pay attention. We don't even have a title yet, so
yeah,
that's a closed doors conversation.
yeah.
But yeah, so Tabletop Tail Spinners, friend of the show, they're going to be running a one-shot very soon. And have you ever heard of The Darkest House?
No.
All right, so The Darkest House is a system agnostic horror module produced by Monty Cook Games. And the whole philosophy behind it is you can take any character out of any system and drop it into this and it will work.
What?
Now, I own this particular piece of work, and I cannot look at it because one of the players in this Tabletop Tail Spinners thing is going to be yours truly.
Nice. Okay.
So
look at you.
So we're going to create. Yeah. So we're going to create Monster Heart characters. So if you don't know what Monster Hearts is, it's powered by the Apocalypse game, and it's all about teen monsters, as it were.
Yep.
Vampires, ghouls, ghosts, blah blah blah.
I have not seen it in game form, but I have heard someone be like Monster Hearts, like the cool kids version of Monster High, which is a doll set.
Yeah, basically. That's it. So we're going to have these characters built in Monster Hearts, but we're getting dropped into the Darkest House by Monty Cook Games. So we're going to be recording that in October.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
that'll be fun, and a good time to record it too. Like, hello, I was actually just thinking that like spooky season is coming upon us. I really want to do something with it, and I don't know. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to commit myself to like, oh well, Atlas said on the show she's going to do this thing, but I'm thinking about doing a thing. We'll see if it happens.
Well, what I wanted to do for spooky season is probably not good because we talked about it in Traveler's Chalice.
Yeah, yes, we did.
Before it was the Traveler's Chalice. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I had an idea of doing something quite big for spooky season.
Huge.
It's not going to happen this year, but it's most definitely going to fucking happen next year. There was a slight wrinkle in the plan, which kind of derailed everything.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But by next year, everything will be a bit more solidified.
Fun.
And I can start putting the work in from the get-go.
Okay.
But yeah, and I've got the perfect name for it, but I'm not going to say it because someone's going to steal it.
Oh yeah, you told me about that actually. I remember that. No, that's going to be good. I am thinking about not shutting down. That's the wrong word. Opening the doors. We'll see.
Shutting down and opening the doors just happens to be opposite things.
No, my art stream is usually on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever it's called. I'm actually thinking about for October not doing that and switching it so that we have multiple games running at the same time of spooky themes throughout the month of October.
Delta Green could happen then.
Yeah. So we'll see. But that's I have a month to pull that together, and I don't really know if I want to devote that much energy and time into something since I'm still in training. But by then I should be kind of sort of getting out of training, which we'll see. Which, by the way, if I seem like non active on social media or tired all the time, it's because of training. Just saying. Like, I will go back to normal soon. But God, I didn't realize it's gonna be this hard. It's hard. Old people are hard. What?
That sounds like a sex thing.
No. What the sex thing was the girthy. The girthy spike on Sunday. That's
That's girthy.
That was girthy. That was.
Yeah, so old people are hard, apparently.
Well,
there are pills for that.
There are
pills for that.
Oh God. Anyways.
All right. Anyways, so you kind of touched on something you touched on earlier. I kind of want to circle back to and make it look like I know what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, we know what we're doing.
So, actual plays, the playing of the actual kind. The sort of shit we do, where we basically play a game and we record it. All right. So when or before the actual release of the new D&D book, there was some discourse on threads, and I didn't really look into it because D&D could not give a fuck.
Right.
But the discourse I found quite interesting because I believe, and
if I'm wrong, then just keep it to your fucking self. I don't care.
It's fine. I have no mind telling you.
There was something in the new D&D PHB which basically said, you know, to get a better grip on playing the game, watch some actual plays.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right. And so a lot of the discourse was people kind of going, what do you think? And I kind of want to, I know it's been a couple of weeks now, but seeing as you touched on it, let's kind of talk about it.
Yeah,
sure. Do you think actual plays are useful for learning a system? And if so, how useful are they and how much attention should you pay?
So I'm boring. You're not going to get a hot take from me. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, they're amazing. Actual plays are like the gold of the earth. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, actual plays are shit. I think with anything else in life, there's a healthy balance. I wanted to play D&D. Like, I didn't know there were other games when I was introduced to TTRPGs. But I wanted to play D&D, and I had nobody to play it with me. And finally, a friend of a friend of a friend connected us together with a GM. And I was like, I'm super nervous. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. Highly, like, anxious. And he was like, sit down, watch these YouTube videos. And he flat out told me, he's like, it will not be like this, but you get an idea of what the gameplay will be like. And I was like, okay. And I watched it and I hated it. But I hated that, loved the concept of the game. So because I went into it knowing like, oh, it's not going to be exactly like, because he was like, think of it, this is a movie production of the game. I'm like, okay, fine. So I did that.
That's a good way of putting it, to be fair.
Yeah. And that's why it's like, I think they can be. Should they be taken as scripture of like, this is how it should go? No, absolutely not. Because like, I think there's a beauty in, we'll take Fabula. Perfect example. We just talked about it. I had never heard of it. I didn't see anything about it. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I'm pretty sure that the game in my head was something completely different than what it actually is. But you could say watching an actual play of that would have been helpful because then I would have been like, got it. But at the same time, I kind of liked not, because then the thing in my head that Couch was like making was so unique, because it wasn't like, oh, it's like so-and-so. Oh, it's like so-and-so. Oh, it's like, nope, this is 100% Couch is my first exposure to it. So I think there's pros and cons both ways.
I mean, it's weird because I wouldn't have picked up Delta Green had it not have been for the Glass Cannon podcast.
Okay.
Because they play Get in the Trunk and they've got their own take on it. Funny as fuck. And I think there is a certain amount of learning that you can do by watching an AP.
Absolutely.
Even something like for me, one of my favorite actual plays of all time, and hands down for me the best, is the Adventure Zone Balance. 3 guys and their dad, essentially,
go on a hunting trip.
As part of their normal podcast, kind of went, should we play D&D?
Oh.
Let's do it. And they did. And it fucking blew up. You know, and these guys had no fucking clue about the rules, or a very limited amount. So their entire campaign is really loose in terms of following rules and this, that, and the other. But at the very least, you can get a feel for what it's like at a table.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's actually, that was just brought up in chat, which is kind of what I was thinking, is that it's like, I like the vibe of the game you get from an actual play, but so many DMs do things differently that you don't really know how you want to do it. You don't really know the rules of it by watching an actual play. So like you said, like the style in the game, absolutely. But learning, like,
I think in terms of the rules, it depends on the actual play.
Yeah.
The Glass Cannon are very much more rules focused than others.
Yeah.
So they will stop and kind of go, no, because the book says this, and they will read you that passage in the book, and they will discuss, and then the GM will kind of go, right, this is what I'm going to rule. So you do get an impression of the rules.
That's good.
Especially when they're playing like Delta Green.
Yeah.